Hello, everyone. I'm actually asking myself why I said, yeah, sure, I can do it in English, but so I apologize if there are some mistakes, if I can't find some words, or if my pronunciation is not so good. But it's easier to share in the worldwide community if I do the talk in English. So first of all, as Lisa already pointed out, if people look to my CV and to my daily agenda, they ask if I sleep. Yes, I do sleep. I sleep actually 8 hours per day, so I'm a pretty well-slept person. When we were talking about justice or about the topic, what occurred in my head, first of all, because this is what I'm experiencing a lot of times, it's a judgmental mindset. What do I mean with a judgmental mindset? A judgmental mindset means that it's so used to our daily life that we judge people by their experience, or by our experience, we have biases. I will give you some examples from this year out of my life. But the first example, it's the one that I can share in exact this moment. So one of the great blessings to be almost blind is that all of you are looking fabulous, smiling, super interested in me, because it's a sea of colors. So that's great. Although I decided by myself that I don't have to stigmatize myself with a stick or with a blind dog, even though I love dogs. I could have 10 if I would have the time for it, but I decided for myself and to not take the things, to encourage my life and to thrive for my goals without having the symbols, how other people can identify easier in which segment I should be put into so they know how to treat me. By this explanation, you see how complicated it is, but we are used to it. My parents actually, so my handicap is a genetic defect in my retina. So it started when I was 9, and back then I had still 40% of eyesight. It got worse, and since 16 years now, it's stable by 5%, but nobody knows if I will become blind one day or not. My parents, especially since I'm considered blind, because I'm having less than 5% eyesight, they ask me mostly on a daily business if I don't want to consider to maybe use a stick from time to time or a button or something else, because it makes easier that people don't run over me or something like that. I know it's a tough call for my parents, and my mom is actually here and she knows what I'm talking about, that I continuously saying, no, I don't want to be judged, and I want that people see me as I see people, seeing with their heart. What does that mean? And that's where I come to examples from this year, actually. The first example is 2 weeks ago, I was flying with a friend to Milano, and I was meeting her there. If you fly as a handicapped person, you can ask for support. I hated the support when I was younger. Nowadays, it's my VIP service. It's awesome. You never take line. Never. Like, they come, they pick you up at the check-in, and then you go, there's humongous lines you have, and then they say, stop, sorry, can you please go? Same with the pass control. It's amazing. Never wait. You are the first one entering the airplane. You have always space for your luggage. So. And I have to be honest, there are some good sides to have a handicap. But I was going there to check-in counter in my awesomely self, walking straight, because I had a friend with me who is in a wheelchair. And he was telling me, go straight. There's no line. So I was walking there, and he was by my side. When the lady at the check-in found out that's not he is traveling, but I am traveling, her colleague asked her to take out the special service, because apparently it's not the handicapped one who's traveling. And then I asked her, but I'm sorry, I'm blind, so I need support. And then she said, oh my God, sorry, but you are so, let me see, there's a word that I can't remember. Selbstbewusst? Thank you. Awesome audience. So you are so self-confident. You walked here directly. So how could I know that you can't see? I said, well, how can you know that I can see? This is the other question. I need to be honest that nowadays I'm smiling, and I understand that because I know that people are not, most of the times, are not doing it because they are mad or bad person, or they have something in mind. It's just how we are raised. We are raised to, to put people in boxes. It makes the complex world a little bit easier. And then she apologized for it, and I said, yeah, it's okay. And then I walked. So this was 2 weeks ago. When I was in London 2 months ago, and I was giving a speech in Portuguese with my mom together about how to raise a child with a handicap. It's a best practice thing. It was really good. Anyway, I can't stand still, so I was ready, and the cable was on, and the makeup was on. But there were time left. So I asked him, how can I help? Because I worked with events for 10 years. Or actually my entire life, because my parents come from this background. And then I was, okay, I will go. We needed a hairdryer. So I said, okay, I will go up and I will ask at the reception if they have a hairdryer that they can borrow us. So I walked up the stairs, and there were a lady coming by. And she said, she was talking to herself actually in Portuguese, and I could understand it. Where's the bathroom? Where's the bathroom? And then I said, oh, may I help you? If you want to go to the bathroom, it's down the stairs, take the right, take the left, and there it is. Have fun. And I kept on walking. And I didn't thought about it. 3 hours later, after my speech, the same lady approached me and apologized. And I asked, no, she thanked for the lesson I gave her. And I said, okay, yeah, sure. That was actually the purpose of the speech. But she said, no, it was not that. It was the moment where you just want to help me. I judged you that you are arrogant and misbehaving because you were not looking into my eyes while you're giving me advice. So these are 2 examples. And the third one, very shortly, same happened in London. The same evening we were going to a pub. And the doorkeeper, not as friendly as the one we had today, looked at me and then looked to my friends by my side and asked, is she drunk? And then I asked an answer to him and said, no, I'm just blind. And then he said, okay, all right, then you can enter. The interesting part of that was that I was totally fine with that because I thought he's just doing his job. And actually, if you don't know that, and if I walk somewhere, and then especially wearing heels, and with my thinking, oh my God, I look so great today, then you can't assume that. But my friends that were with me, they were really pissed for like an hour. He's misbehaving, how he treated you, and I was trying to convince them that he was just doing his job. So these 3 examples. I want to pick to show you and to actually raise the topic that we all are too used to judge what's happening around us. So yesterday or the day before, when I was preparing for this speech, I was saying maybe we should just build some AJ meetings, and anonymous judgmental persons, like there are AA meetings. But when people judge you from the outside, it's fine because like for 15 years in my life, I always became very aggressive. Nowadays, I just smile them and try to change their world. Because nowadays, I like to irritate. So nowadays, I'm doing that, and all the time that somebody judges me and talks and acts in a certain way with me, then I can change their life. Because then I can say, hey, I can't see. And they say, oh, really? And they start thinking. So that's fine. You can learn that. But what I discovered is the person that mostly and for the longest time is judging me is myself. So judging the others is one thing, but judging yourself, it's even worse. And I spend a lot of time in my career, in my school life, in my personal life, where I was telling myself what I, as a handicapped person, should do, shouldn't do, I'm able to do, and all of that I actually withdraw from what other people were telling me. Although my mom told me when they discovered my handicap when I was 9, that we just see good with the heart, because the obvious is invisible for the eye, like the small prince is taught by the fox. But actually I forgot that for 25 years. It just came back to mind 2 years ago. In this judging process, and this is another thing that when we were talking about, I'm giving the talk at Creative Mornings, which is also very important, talking about justice, is equal opportunities for everyone. And in the process and during the time where I was judging myself and where I was telling myself, be very grateful that you have a decent job, that you're employed, and then they actually give you things to make copies of and to brew coffee, say thank you every day. Everybody should be grateful, but it's like you're not capable to do more. There were a lot of opportunities laying around for me, because here in Germany, and I can compare that to Brazil because I'm half Brazilian and I spend a lot of time in Brazil and I love Brazil, and I run for charity projects in Brazil, so I'm pretty involved there. And in Brazil, friends of mine that have the same handicap that I have, they have not 5% of the opportunities that I have by law in Germany. But it's beautiful if you have laws and if you have rights and if you you have equality in all the parts. But if you, and this is what I think it's really important, it's if there are equal opportunities, it's not just the ones that are offering them. You, as somebody who wants to be treated in an equal way, needs to get them as well. So as I said, I was stuck in my life or in my career for a long time because I was not taking the opportunities. So I said, I don't want to get this technology to help me. I don't want to go for another university. When I woke up or had my awakening moment, 2013, and I actually opened my eyes to see the opportunities I have, then I started to really run behind it. Then I changed my job. I went for my MBA. I studied here in Düsseldorf, and we went to Chicago and India and China. And what in the beginning was very difficult for me was actually to taking this opportunity and taking these chances nowadays my hobby. That actually leads to my agenda, because nowadays an opportunity is passing. I say, Ken, come, there are 5 minutes spare time, I fit you in. So despite the fact that I learned not to judge myself, or actually not judging myself but by what I thought were other people thinking what I'm capable about, I learned that it's very important that to have equality and inclusion nowadays in our lives is you need to include yourself, you need to be prepared to take the opportunities, and through that we have equal opportunities and an inclusive world for everyone. Thank you.